Crab subscribed. In today's video, largest Hassan orbiter, Froggen,
You'll
is
need a
back,
top-notch team
and
to
she
win this
is
one.
begging for money on stream again. This time, she wants $500 from her audience to pay for her broken wrist, or the cast. Hassan is absolutely nowhere to be found. She complains about the expenses while refusing to actually work for money. She explains how
Open
she
your
broke her
eyes.
wrist, quote,
Reality
ice
is
skating,
but an illusion.
and nobody is buying her story. I have come up with my own theory as to what happened. 99.9999% accurate. Froggen has responded playing the ultimate victim, blaming everybody else,
Magic is
saying
not
she
to be
can't get a
owned,
job
but to be
because
felt.
of Trump. Hassan is
30
now
seconds before
openly
you attack.
shilling for
Get
foreign
ready.
governments and, quote, China maxing. He's being blatantly racist in mocking a
We're
Chinese
in this
person
together,
because
Tandy
they
Bowen.
disagree
Get the
with him.
stars out of your eyes and
Classic.
let us
Calling a woman.
They call out Hassan for
fate of
propaganda
many
and he
worlds is
doubles
at
down
stake.
and
It is a mighty
romanticizes
quest.
communism. He says it's okay because the government will occasionally
The
give
battle
you
starts in
treats
5,
like a dog.
4,
Bruh, subscribe
3,
or Froggen
2,
trips
1.
and falls on you.
Enemy in front of
Ay, we're cooked, we're all cooked. The world would be cooked at that point. Now let's begin. Right, so welcome back to your favorite TV show, except it's actually real and these are real people somehow. Moving on to the guru of gravity, the great devourer, Froggen. Holy cinema,
Better
she's
stop that
back.
vehicle.
And you definitely saw her coming. It was an international event like when a meteorite is about to hit planet Earth. The motion of heavenly bodies. Anyways, recap since it's been a while. Last time we talked about her, she was breaking down crying, begging for subs on stream because she couldn't afford rent.
It's my job, though. I have to focus on the fucking money.
I know you do, but that's unfortunately like you can't control the money. You don't control the money, you know? Like you can't control how much money people give you. That's not gonna be control. Can you stop begging for rent? It's so
Okay, then you know what? Fine. You know my Venmo. Send me that shit, man. Okay.
Bro just calls her out on her own stream.
Now this was despite the fact that she revealed that she was promoted from being Hassan Piker's head moderator to actual producer of the stream. And according to her, Hassan paid her very well, but not well enough for her to not break down crying about her money.
My role for Hassan at this point and for the last 2 years has been production work. I give him ideas and I produce the streams, and Hassan pays me very well.
And that brings us to today. She is back e-begging her audience like a pathetic loser, and she's begging for $500 this time. Now I just want you guys to keep in mind this entire time, Hassan makes $500 in probably under a minute in some days, right? So he could fix the problem instantly at any time. But instead, she has to beg to her audience, despite being the producer of Hassan's stream. Twitch streamer Froggen is e-begging her very small audience for money because she broke her wrist. A cast is $500 and she doesn't have health insurance. Interesting she speaks about health insurance. I seem to recall she had something to say with U.S. veterans, right?
I hope you get PTSD, and I hope you get no health insurance when you get back to America. Is this a goodbye stream for your cast?
I am
Exclamation
born
point tip,
anew.
say goodbye to the cast. I need $500.
They hit a checkpoint.
I need $500 for tomorrow to pay for my
Don't mess with the amazing
Wait.
Spider-Man.
What's up, work mate? How are you? I know, isn't that crazy? Isn't that insane? $500 Bruh, just because you know they have to take X-rays, they have to pay the fees, they have to get the test. Not having insurance. Not having insurance is cheap, but insurance is also so expensive, unfortunately. Insurance is unfortunately so expensive.
So normally I'd be pretty sympathetic here, okay? Because, you know, health bills are total bullshit. It is actually super expensive, and I feel like mostly it is unjustified. Insurance is pretty much bullshit most of the time too. All these corporations try to sort of rinse you for your money, and they sort of exploit people who are sick. You know, I've sort of dealt with that whole system personally as well, and some of my friends have as well. It is just horrible and evil, and I fucking hate all this. But in this scenario, I will make an exception because this is the same Froggen who said that $10,000 is something. Okay, she said Jelliway should just keep it.
By the eye of Nakamoto!
Okay, it is completely insignificant, right?
So I personally donated 10K because I think it is worthwhile.
Keep your $10,000. Keep your little chump change. Like,
It is completely insignificant amount of money. It's not going to change anything, right? So funny how the table starts, right? When she's here begging for $500, which if 10K is jumped in, how much is 500? Fucking pennies. It's nothing, right? And of course the tables are turning because there was food on the other side of the table and Froggen had to turn the table to get more food. Also, a couple more reasons. I think Froggen has a degree, but that's like a master's, I heard. So this woman literally has a higher education, and for some reason is begging for money on stream. What the hell is wrong with you? Earn money with a job. Sorry for the J-slur. Sometimes I need to pull it out. Okay, put the job application meme.
Healing power.
Anything but that, not a job application, not on this channel, please. I'm out there, literally being ranked #1, unemployed, okay? 250 episodes, there's nobody more unemployed, and I am telling you to go get a job. I feel like you need to listen, okay? Also, I feel like $500 would not be expensive for you if you're actually working the past few years and were able to save a little bit of money instead of wasting your time streaming and getting yourselves in these situations like the Ethan Klein lawsuit as well. And even then you were begging with money from your GoFundMe as well, where you basically took thousands and thousands of dollars from your audience already, and you still ask for more and more. These people are so greedy, bro. It's actually so disgusting. Like, all these creators constantly begging their audience for money and giving nothing in return. Like, what is the content here? Legitimately. And I don't know, if I had any advice,
with the amazing Spider-Man!
a Big Mac budget, because that's legitimately gotta be like 20 grand a month at least. I'm sorry. That was an underestimated. 20 grand, more like a day.
have risen.
Okay? We know she be eating like Squidward in that one episode where he got addicted to Krabby Patties. But yeah, I feel like people just don't have any sympathy for someone who's a disgusting Hassan orbiter who justifies all that behavior. Also wishes US veterans get PTSD, hopes that they don't get insurance or anything like that. Like, then why are you crying about insurance? Like, it's so disgusting. Right, so we got another video here, context, for those wondering how she broke her wrist. Okay, and here she tells the story of how this happened, and forgive me if I don't buy this.
the good news is, after years of wanting to ice skate, I finally did it. But the bad news is, I broke my wrist. And I have to be in this for 2 weeks. And then I have to get another cast. But you know, life is all about trying new experiences, including ice skating.
Yeah, sure. Ice skating, okay. Okay, yeah, we're totally buying that one, guys. Froggen was simply ice skating. Oh. Are you sure you didn't mean ice cream or, you know, something of that variety? So wait a minute,
There's still so much to do.
You're telling me she was actually engaging in physical activity before this happened, before she actually injured herself. Yes, surely. I'm sorry, I was very good at maths in school, and even with my expertise, this does not add up, okay? I'm sorry, I'm no Einstein here, alright? But this doesn't seem to follow the laws of our universe, right? It's simply like defying physics, right? Because if Froggen was ice skating and fell down, there would be natural disasters all over the planet, okay? Magnitude 10 earthquakes everywhere, volcanoes, heck, maybe planet Earth would have been knocked out of orbit, okay? Life as we know it would have been ended, right? So forgive me if I simply cannot believe the story. This seems like a bunch of cap a bunch of capachungas deluxe. Now, let me tell you guys what really happened. Okay, here is my theory. As an expert in the Hassan orbiters, I feel like I have a PhD on this shit at this point, right? So basically what happened was that Frogan here was trying to put her hand in a cookie jar, okay? Particularly the 7 cookie jars of the same day, right? And you see the repetitive motion, right, of reaching her hand into the jar was simply too strenuous for the oh-so-circular one. So what happened was when she got to the 7th jar, right, she had to sort of contort her hand.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Into the jar, right? Especially when the cookies started reaching the bottom, right? And she was in her desperation to get the last cookie in the jar. Okay, we can relate. We love some cookies, all right? Maybe not the 7 jars, right? But essentially, she was trying to get the last cookie, and then of course she got stuck. You know, a common experience with voluminous people. Yes, she yanked her hand over and over, trying to escape from the jar. No! It was like a rat trap there, right? Sort of got stuck there, and then while yanking it, she obviously injured herself and she broke her wrist, right? And I don't know about you, but it feels like my theory is 99.9999% accurate. No sarcasm, obviously. Now, you guys can vote below. Which story is more likely in the comments? Frogan going flipping ice skating and falling over, right? Or Frogan trying to get a cookie from her cookie jar, right? You guys can vote. You can be the judge, the jury, the executioner, everything, right? Let me know, okay? Fear responded she broke her wrist eating ice cake. That looks like a soft cast wrapped in bandages, not a proper orthopedic cast. Considering she put her full weight on both wrists. If she put her full weight on both wrists, that is not going back. Then immediately adjusted her microphone with the arm now in a cast. I'm gonna consider it called serious bullshit. I thought she said Hassan paid her really well. Are you telling me people lie on the internet? I guess it isn't well enough. No. Hassan pays her so well that she literally had to beg for $500. Literally $500. The amount Hassan makes in 5 years.
By the eye of Agamotto!
For $500. She has a master's degree, and I'm very confident she can get a job with benefits, but refuses. Yeah, no, that would require actually doing some level of work. She's pulling a DSP gaming when she's headed down that path. Bro, you know, regardless of who it is, if it's Hassan Orbiter or not, I cannot stand beggars, bro. Literally the lowest of the low. Refusing to actually work for your money and just begging from it from other people like a worthless fucking loser. Especially when you have the means. You have the means to go do it yourself, but you're just too flippin' lazy. It's just so stupid, bro. And you're taking money from people that are actually working for their shit and then trusting you with this stuff. And then you just keep exploiting them over and over. It wasn't enough to beg for money for the GoFundMe, and then for the rent before, and then the year before that, the fucking emergency rent or whatever. It's just over and over. You give them an inch and they'll keep begging until the end of time. And that's why here on the legendary series, everything is free until the end of time. It's absolute cinema for 7 years. Okay, literally always been free, always will be free. As a live streamer once said.
Who fucking who?
Okay, she tweeted again. Imagine breaking your wrist at 29 years old. Oh my god, she's almost 30, bro. Bro, I can't with these people. And having to tell people it's from ice skating because you watched a gay hockey show. We all know it was the cookie jar, Frogan. Let's hope you don't get PTSD and have no health insurance. She says she's being canceled again for breaking her wrist. Right. Maybe it's the constant e-begging. Right, so anyway, she responded to the drama. Twitch streamer mischaracterizes her e-begging to her audience while also blaming Donald Trump for not being able to find a job. Of course, this is Trump's fault. Also, Frogan, I'm not a socialist. I should not be the one to pay your medical bills. You should be asking Hassan to pay it because that's what he believes in. Hassan should set the example for the rest of us capitalists. So yeah, she also asks other people who are criticizing her to pay her bills.
So the preface. So last night I was talking about how my cast today was going to be about $500 and I don't have health insurance. And then instead of sub goals like I usually have, I made donation goal because I'm like, whatever, you know, whatever. I don't think that's a bad thing, to be quite honest. I was like, you know what, instead of having sub goals, I'm just going to change it to a dono goal. And then of course, people online were like, I have hate watchers, which, to be quite honest, if I hate anybody, my thing is it's just like, if I don't like somebody, I'm not gonna watch you, you know? But that's just me. Like there's like LSF, Twitter, you know, those drama accounts going around. They're like, oh, Frogan doesn't have health insurance and she's e-begging for money for people to pay for her cast. That's gonna be $500 because she's irresponsible. She doesn't have health insurance. It's like, girl, you wanna pay for it then? You wanna fucking pay for it then? And then like everyone's just like, why don't you get a real job? It's like, I've been trying, and unfortunately, I have a degree in the field of public health. Okay, and you know what Trump defunded last
Your
year
hero.
around
Or
March,
villain, I'm
a
not
year ago?
judging.
Public health, research. You know what I mean?
Make way
So
for
even
the
if I
king
wanted
of
to get back
teas.
into the field where I have a degree in, the entire
Open
field is
your
defunded.
eyes.
Oh
Reality
my
is
god,
but an
bro. These
illusion.
people are so pathetic. The absolute ultimate victim complex. Oh my god, my problems are just everyone else's fault. Oh my
Make
god, the
way
world
for the
is in
king
a
of
grand
teas.
conspiracy to keep me down. Frogan, you literally spent like 5 years wasting your time streaming. Like, yeah, I seem like your degree gets less and less valuable as time passes. Your reputation is horrible as well. Like, employers probably do one background check and realize that you don't care about
Time to
fucking
see if your
veterans.
boy
Obviously, they're
Gambit
not
can
gonna
steal
let
us a
you
win.
in the healthcare industry.
30
Like, that
seconds
is
before you
probably
attack.
horrible
Get
for
ready.
your reputation. And they probably give you some generic rejection letter
Even
of
the
like, oh yeah, you
astral
won't
realms are
qualify
torn
for the
apart
role or
by the
something.
time
But the
stream
truth is,
entanglement.
it's your
Who
online
better to
presence
put them
that
back
is
together
affecting
than
your
you
job
and
search. This is
I
all
like your
entirely
optimism.
your fault. Like, you can't just blame all your problems on everybody else, okay? And for the last time, nobody's paying for your shit. Oh my god, it's all pathetic,
The
bro.
battle starts in
Hassan
5,
Orbiter's in
4,
begging. It's like a
3,
match made in heaven.
2,
And Hassan
1.
will still not give her a penny,
need
bro.
to
If
get
you
us
give
back
her
to the
some
mission
work,
area.
maybe
Got
have
it?
her arrange some tweets for your stream. Toss her
way
like
for
5
the
pennies,
new
bruh.
Mrs.
So
Lobo.
the people are mad at me because I made a dono goal instead of a sub goal
Just who can
for my rig.
weak.
And in my head, I'm just like, dude, like, whenever I'm like talking like this, I'm talking to my community. I'm not talking to the fucking dumbass motherfucker. You know what I mean? Unless you're like a dumbass motherfucker on Reddit and you like my content. You know what I mean? What do people with public health plans go into? Research, clinical coordination, healthcare management, everything like that. Thank you, Hayden. Thank you. I'm a new woman. I'm a new fucking woman, bro. Like, I can move my elbow. Like, nursing? No. Public health is not clinical. It's more so like the administrative clinical stuff. Research. Access to healthcare. Shit like that. But yeah, my arm is free, guys! My arm is free! I can move my elbow. I'm just like, yeah! Even though it really hurts kind of doing this right now, I'm not gonna lie, but like, they gave me my Fortnite back. They gave me my Fortnite back, guys.
Well, congratulations. At least you can reach for some cookies again. We all know you ain't going ice skating. Also, she goes, I was only talking to my community. Like, I don't know, after you're supposed to addressing other people. You literally addressed the hater right now.
Ain't ready
Before
for
you were
road.
addressing veterans, so I don't know, I'd say you're talking to other people as well. She responded if she can't find a job, it's probably not because of Trump. It's probably because of her statements are not ones many employers want associated with their brand. And it was out of nowhere, Ms. Kip responded.
I'm gonna be real, chat. If you're like, I think Frogan's probably like 5 years into the game.
Don't celebrate yet.
Just get a
mate.
job.
The fight's
She
not
averages
over.
80 viewers. And I'm not even saying this in a hate towards Frogan. I'm just being real. You've been doing this for 5 years now. 5 years. And you still are at 60 viewers. She's like 80 viewers.
By the eye of Agamotto.
Biggest peak ever was 4 years ago when she hit 700 viewers. I don't know how old she is. How old is Frogan? She's 28. Bro, just pack it up. In my opinion, you pack it up. You pack it up. You try to get a new job. This is a hobby at this point. This should not. You're not making any money. And if in fact you have to beg for money or even ask for money, it's over, bro. It's over. You have 50 viewers, man. Do you know how little that is, chat? She might be making like maybe $1,000 a month. Someone needs to have that talk with Frogan. This girl needs to get a fucking job. 5 years, you're at 80 viewers. And here's the thing, you're not just at 80 viewers, you're very popular. Like, not popular, you're well known. Frogan's known by millions of people at this point. All the Sans community. Everybody knows her. And she's at 80 viewers.
Yeah, Miskiff trying to desperately jump on it as well, but nobody really cares about Miskiff. He's just here for some comedic relief. Also hilarious, this guy calling anyone irrelevant. I mean, it doesn't mean anything considering you try to call me irrelevant as well, right? But the funny thing is, when you did it to me, you never brought up any of my views, right? Interesting. Instead, the reverse happened. I had to bring up your viewership. Funny how that works. Absolutely.
Now you do the same.
Loser, bro. And honestly, he's gonna be the butt of my jokes in the series for a long time. This guy just pissed me off one time, and congrats. You're cemented in history forever now. Moving on to Hassan. So today, Hassan is going viral for quote China maxing and basically shilling for foreign governments as he does best. And he basically got called out on the news by this woman, and he just exposed himself as the biggest racist ever. So it starts here where he defends foreign propaganda because that's literally what he does himself.
It's going to be holding a hearing to look into claims that foreign actors may be secretly influencing U.S. non-profits. A report alleging that the far-left group Democratic Socialists of America has foreign ties that are working to undermine federal authorities under the guise of protests, saying they found, quote, the DSA's rhetoric matches with anti-U.S. propaganda.
This is so funny. It's like, yeah, because the anti-U.S. propaganda coming from foreign adversaries is correct. It's not anti-U.S. propaganda. It's just correct. Like, for example, when, I don't know, the Chinese government or the Russian government, regardless of their own personal moral infallibility or whatever aside, right? Like, they're not obviously infallible. But, like, when they actually adequately address some of the issues that are taking place in America, that's not propaganda. That's just a reflection of reality.
Well, that take is not surprising at all, not shocking at all. Leave it to Hassan to defend basically anything anti-America, right? The foreign governments are just right, okay? As long as they're criticizing the U.S., they are automatically correct. That's how it works. Hassan will defend anything and anyone, including the worst of humanity being terrorists, as long as they are anti-America. That is simply how it operates in the Piker universe. Also, I love how he does the same shit again, where he's like, yeah, they have flaws, but we never talk about those flaws. We just sort of hand wave that shit, you know, like actual oppression. For example, the Iranian government gunning down protesters, or any sort of oppression in any foreign country. This guy will claim that North Korea treats its citizens better than the U.S. government does, which is absolutely fucking absurd. Regardless of what's going on in the US and how bad it is not comparable to North fucking Korea, but according to Hassan, the guy who glazes the USSR as well, all these achievements under his belt, collecting them like fucking COD trophies or some shit. So anyways, let's get to the part with this woman who's talking about the trend of China maxing, where essentially influencers are paid to do propaganda, and sometimes unknowingly as well. And Hassan is obviously pissed considering the guy considers himself spiritually Chinese after spending 2 weeks in China on his paid luxury vacation.
She then flew a survivor of Mao's revolution going to Nanning Shu, China. So Shu, our foreign adversaries, namely China, behind the foreign socialism here in the U.S.
Yes, absolutely. You see it everywhere. And the recent thing is what's trending is called China maxing.
This lady is my favorite. She hates me. This lady is like, I survived the Cultural Revolution. You know what's just like the Great Leap Forward? Columbia University. like I love these sorts of people that come in and they're just like, yeah, whatever current thing that's like frustrating, I don't know, 75-year-old boomers in Iowa is exactly what it was like in the Chinese countryside.
The first one is about propaganda. The second one is about influence.
It's pretty funny to say this also about China in general because they are, in my opinion, far too disinterested in doing soft power. I mean, that's changing a little bit, but like up until this moment, they straight up were like, no, we're just gonna sell to our own market. Like we have a massive consumer base in China. We're just gonna make cultural works that only people will consume, which I think is a massive mistake because soft power is the name. America's cultural dominance, America's hegemonic superpower status, in large part is due to the cultural imperialism, the soft power that comes from Hollywood, right? China doesn't do that.
Right, so bro is actually just giving them free tips at this point. I mean, how much are they paying you, Hassan, honestly? Because this guy's legitimately like there isn't enough propaganda, all right? There isn't enough foreign propaganda. There should be more, right? There should be more. There should be more people like me. You know, just wire me like double the doubloons on PayPal and I'll do it. I'll do it, you know? Hassan unironically will be like, I'll do the propaganda myself. China #1, don't worry. You know, US bad. They brainwash everybody through their Marvel movies and Hollywood, right? China and all these other countries need to get on their level, right? Start infiltrating TikTok. Come on, crazy influencers. I mean, he's not even hiding it at this point, and we'll see later. It becomes blatantly fucking obvious when he's flashing his accessories. Also, this is always a mistake. Never do this. But if you look at Hassan's chat here, Peepo smile. Mao missed one. Peepo smile. I mean, just surprised they don't want her dead, but I probably missed that message. So then she talks about like these TikTok influencers getting paid to do this sort of propaganda, and then she explicitly brings up Hassan.
It's something that CCP is expert of. They will capture the elite. In this case, they capture a lot of the influencers in social media, especially in TikTok. And most of the people who are influenced have no idea that they are the target, and some, of course, they do because they paid handsomely. And one of the examples is Hassan Piker. He went to China for 2 weeks and come back. A Chinese now leading the China Maxim on the social media.
Yes, hey, Michael from Pennsylvania. Notice how she said I'm Chinese now? Oh, look at me. I'm Michael from Beijing. No, you're not. Hey, yo, did you hear that? Let's run that back. She said I'm Chinese. Let's go.
Bro, oh my god, he is creaming himself at this. He's like, she noticed me. Oh my god, somebody called me Chinese. Yes, I'm totally one of you. Brother, are you good? Also, like, just for the record, I don't think she was talking literally, okay? I don't think she legitimately thinks you morphed into a Chinese person. I think what she means to say is that you're shilling after a literal week there, soy facing at the Red Book, you know, covering for the police that were stopping you for a meme on your phone. Meanwhile, if that happened in the US, you would be saying they're the Gestapo. And I feel like what she's actually referring to might be that instance of Hassan calling himself spiritually Chinese.
My mind, in my conscience, I have already become Chinese. We were already white Chinese in this chat. I've already become full Chinese.
Because this man is such a fucking dork, right? A shape-shifting dork. Schrodinger's Turk, they call him, right? Because he changes races and skin colors like a fucking chameleon. So he was trying to add Chinese to his belt as well, but the people were obviously not having it. So I don't know what exactly she was referring to there, but nobody thinks you're Chinese, man. Get over yourself. And then he starts attempting to speak in Chinese in some weird sort of emulation.
Why the Chinese influence
Okay, I don't know about you. That just looked really racist, bro. Like, I don't know what the hell he was doing there, what he was trying to do. So he was like playing music or something, and I guess trying to sing along or whatever, but it's just convenient he does that when she's on the screen, right? The least racist woke person right here.
Fuck this South Vietnamese. Why don't you go back and live in South Vietnam in the same conditions?
This guy was legitimately like, oh yes, Chinese person spotted. I must bust out my dog shit just singing attempt in fucking Chinese or whatever. There's no way. There's just no way, man. Anyway, so then they call out Hassan for his propaganda, and he just doubles down in the most shameless way possible.
China maxing is. You mentioned it's on TikTok. It's the newest craze. And basically, it's young Americans romanticizing and glamorizing living in communist China. Quote, China maxing isn't just a lifestyle trend. Many of the young influencers praising Chinese culture are actively denigrating America. They're aesthetically, morally, and politically defecting to another superpower. And she, as somebody who lived and fled the Mao Revolution, what's your message to those who romanticize communism, especially young Americans who grew up here with every advantage in the world, now saying, I I want to live under communist rule. What's your message, Jess?
Yeah, my message is you have to learn history. We have to teach our children real history.
Bro, this guy is too much, bro. Actually, completely famous. They're literally calling you out for propaganda, and you go, yep, that's me right here. Thanks for doing the roll call. Maybe they'll slip me another check. I mean, if it wasn't enough to do like a flippin' propaganda tour and all this nonsense, this guy's just flashing his souvenirs, being like, yes, I got all of this shit. And mind you, all this time, Hassan is out there accusing other people of working with foreign governments, being paid by foreign governments, being anti-American, working with America's enemies, all that to undermine the stability of the country, etc., etc. Showing up for foreign government. He's out here doing this shit openly, like he ain't even trying to hide it. I mean, you cannot make this shit up. This is a Diddy Pica spectrum. Also, I just find it funny, like every time Hassan will pretend to be the most woke person ever until the second somebody disagrees with him, in minority group disagrees with him, suddenly he just turns into like a straight white person. He just turns into the most racist person ever, starts mocking them in the most caveman way possible. Also, I couldn't let this pass, I'm sorry, I gotta point out Kaya. Just 1,000 times she has literally passed out. Look how well trained she is, guys, Hassan goes, yes, look how well trained she is. Literally dead. So then she talks about the problem of people like romanticizing communism. It's something Hassan does all the time.
Our value, our culture, and it is, as you said, romanticized communism.
Yeah, like they can keep chirping about the big red menace and all of this stuff. Meanwhile, all of our elites are pedophiles. All of our elites are pedophiles. The cost of living has not been solved at all. It's getting worse and worse for people. There's so much poverty, there's so much debt, there's so much destruction all around us. All we know how to deal is lead around the globe. And then people have this expectation that you're supposed to sit there and love what you're experiencing because like the alternative is far scarier. But people have the capacity to see the alternative with their own eyes, partially as a consequence of the social libertarianism that like Western countries have as far as like free speech, free flow of information. Regardless of the propaganda efforts, people can still see what's going on over there and go, well, that seems pretty good to me. I don't know. Maybe we should try that.
Right, I mean, this is just brilliant logic. So the elites are PDF files. Therefore, communism good. I mean, wow, that is some rock solid. That is some Sudoku logic right there. Another brilliant lesson from Diddy Piker himself. Because things are bad here, surely it means that communism is the solution. It's always the fucking champagne socialist multi-millionaires pushing for shit they just do not believe in. Like, if this was implemented, Hassan would be the first one to complain. And we know this. Let's start with you, Hassan. Redistribute your wealth right now. Get out of your flippin' Hollywood mansion. Donate your millions. Put your money where your mouth is. And I know you will never do that because we know what happened in the Hassan Orbiter's lawsuit. Hassan is so fucking greedy, he refused to part with even a portion of his money. And we'll see later, Frogger also crying about her expenses and Hassan refusing to help her at all. Also, for a brilliant political commentator, he has some pretty elementary analysis here. He goes, yeah, we look over in other countries and things look pretty good. Yeah, that's because you don't see any of the fucking problems living there, dude. I mean, this guy's a North Korea glazer. He's a USSR glazer. I mean, you just cannot take him seriously at all. You cannot argue the logic with him at all. Hassan literally goes on a paid luxury vacation, gets a complete tourist experience, right? He's like the best parts that are curated for him to show him, and he goes, yep, this is the entire place. This is how it is. Wow, they just have all this bullshit. Like, you obviously don't see the common man's experience. Literally brain dead dumb tourists going to tourist spots and going, yeah, this is totally how it is, guys. I mean, he lives in Hollywood, bro. He is completely disconnected from people at all, even in his own fucking like state, you know? So then Hassan makes the craziest admission ever. So he basically says that communism is fine because sometimes the government will give you treats, right? So all you have to do is hand over all the power, right? Give them all the authority and pray that you get some doggy bites. Then you get a little scrap that they throw you.
The reason I'm my parents hate communism because they didn't have streets. They were told that the reason they don't have streets, no Uyghurs, no Rohingyas is communism. It never went deeper than that. When you have a communist state with streets, that kind of propaganda don't work well. Exactly. That's like a major issue. I think a lot of people don't factor in different ways of governance, because all matter of governance is authoritarian inherently. That's what the government does. It's authority, right? And what a lot of people don't realize is that like streets are a major part of this process. They're a major part of the struggle. If a government actually offers commodities and treats, it gives a sense of comfort and security. A government must offer the diversity of choice, even if it's like fallacious, even if it's not real, even if the choice is actually coming from like 3 fucking producers overall. The very fact that you feel like you have a choice to begin with is what makes people comfortable.
Right, so this guy is literally telling people that it's completely okay that the government controls your entire life and has all the power. In fact, we should actually just give all our power to the government, remain completely powerless, and it's okay because the overlords will be kind enough to occasionally give you some treats, you know? They might send a drone to your house one day. It might deliver you groceries. It might bomb your house. Who knows? But hey, you better flip that coin because Hassan says so. So you literally can't make this shit up. He is fully aware of the consequences of like a dictatorship government or whatever, right? He's completely aware that some of these regimes treat their citizens very poorly, pretty much like dogs here right now. He's talking about treats and shit. And he is still supporting that shit because he's obviously never lived under it. And the fact that this guy's just a full-on commie, bro, and the fact that he's
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Insane to me. He should literally just be arguing. I mean, if the terrorist glazing wasn't enough, right? Literally playing propaganda videos, if that wasn't enough, this guy just continues to expose himself day after day, you know, slowly leaking out his true beliefs, forgetting that his stream isn't actually private, that he's not hiding his power levels anymore. Also, the logic is impeccable. He goes, all governments are authoritarian. Yeah, we're talking about the extent of it, dumbass. Like, North Korea authoritarian is very different from US authoritarian, right? A dictatorship versus democratic elections. You could say it's somewhat democratic, right? There's a lot of bullshit going on, that's for sure. But it's not comparable to actual, like, dictatorships like in Iran. And this colossal moron actually thinks that it's the same thing, right? Oh, governments just have power. That's just how it is, right? You should just pray to the god, and hopefully you'll get some doggy bites, right? You, the little cattle in the tent, right? We will be the ruling class. We will rule over you. Hassan will get elected in the government, and, you know, maybe he'll throw you some scraps. All you have to do is subscribe to his stream, you know? Prove that you're a loyal supporter right from the start. Right, here is Hassan's comment section. She said, bro came back Chinese. Hassan said he came back Chinese. She's literally just quoting him.
My mind, in my conscience, I have already become Chinese. We were already white Chinese in this chat. I've already become full Chinese.
Hassan went to China for 2 weeks and came back a Chinese, so this is how long it takes. Apparently, according to him, she said Chinese like it was a slur, and Hassan was fucking mocking her or some shit.